Hi there, this is Tom Lee. I'm the Chief Investment Officer of Fundstrat Capital and the lead portfolio manager for Fundstrat's family of ETFs, Granny Shots. This is our update for the week of January 26th. First, let me give you some particulars. GRNY, which is the flagship, had price at the end of January 23rd, 2552, and total assets of $4.27 billion. GRNY Junior, which is small and mid-cap grannies, GRNJ for short, had $28.22 and total assets of $346 million. And the income-oriented granny, GRNI or Granny I, had price of $20.74 and total assets of $56 million. As for weekly performance, Granny fell 1.34% last week. It was a tough week. The market was down 0.34%, so Granny underperformed by 100 basis points. Granny J declined 2% compared to a minus 0.29 for the Russell 2500, or 174 basis points of underperformance. And Granny I fell 0.77% versus a 0.34% decline for the S&P, or 80 basis points of underperformance. Year to date, and we're still only in January, Granny is up 3% versus 1% for the S&P, or 197 basis points of outperformance. Granny J is up 10% versus 6.8% for the Russell 2500, or 355 basis points of relative performance. And Granny I is up 2.3% versus 1.1 for the S&P, or 126 basis points of outperformance. Let's talk about macro, and in particular gold and silver, because these two precious metals have been the star so far this year. Gold is up 17% and silver is up 52% so far. And I can think of four reasons why precious metals are doing well. There's a lot of geopolitical uncertainty. We know central banks are dovish. There has been currency debasement, especially the yen and dollar. And to give you an idea, look at the JGB 10-year yield versus gold, and you can see it's almost the same chart. And there's been price momentum. In fact, on Reddit, Wall Street Bets, top trending stocks are silver and gold. Now, you'd think, well, why doesn't this apply to crypto? Well, geopolitical uncertainty helps crypto, and central banks dovish helps crypto, and FX debasement certainly helps. But there hasn't been price momentum. And I think one of the reasons is crypto just hasn't recovered from the October 10th liquidation event. And I think that takes time, but it's going to happen. And in the meantime, crypto fundamentals are improving. So as fundamentals go up and to the right, I think it's just a matter of time before price follows. And as we think about earnings season broadly, for the S&P, 14% have reported, 78% are beating, which is pretty good, beating by roughly 5%. We are in the second heaviest week of earnings season this year. And this week, especially Wednesday and Thursday, 4 of the 7 Mag 7 report. And I think the takeaway is still going to end up being that earnings growth is accelerating this year. So it's all a good news story. As for Granny stock individual performance, let's look at Granny and Granny I first. The top 5 performers are listed here: AMD, Meta, ANET, Monster, and Tesla. Several of these report after the close this week. The bottom 5 performers are some of the banks like JP Morgan. And on the Smid-cap side, the top 5 performers are things like Royal Gold, which I just talked about, Albemarle, Nextpower, Twilio. The bottom 5 performers are Riot, Roblox, etc. It's just some de-risking. And as for relative sector performance, style performance, PMI recoveries performed the best, followed by style tilt and cybersecurity. That's it for now. Thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you soon.